What is up, people? I'm back, and today we are taking a look at what's behind this camera, actually, and that is my $500 gaming PC. Now, I saw a video, or rather, live stream by Linus Tech Tips, where he showed off the new Arc Battle Mage cards, and he built a gaming PC around it with only new parts. So, $500. Let's get into it. Now, can you build a $500 gaming PC from new parts? Everything from GPU to power supply to RAM to SSD to motherboard to case to fans to everything. Yes, but now where I live. So for me to be able to build a $500 gaming PC, the equivalent of 5,500 Swedish crowns, I'm gonna have to look to the secondhand market. So unfortunately, this is not gonna be the one-to-one comparison. And mind you, it's not gonna be new generation parts. Far from it. The CPU that I use is closing in on 7 years old. Oh, I hear you say, is that even gonna be a gaming PC? But I can assure you that the thumbnail wasn't a clickbait. But now to the methodology I am gonna be using. I picked out some very specific price ranges for two of the parts. The CPU and the GPU is because those two were actually the only parts I bought secondhand. I set myself a goal of getting a CPU for $45, 500 Swedish crowns, and while including a cooler in that price was going to be hard, I made it work. The GPU had to cost under $135 or 1,500 Swedish crowns, including the shipping for the build to work. The rest? Well, that's where it got a bit tricky. I checked every possible website, even pulling different parts from different retailers, but most of it was over the budget. I landed on Amazon. Why? Well, they had the cheapest case, the cheapest air cooler, and the cheapest SSD I could find. The rest was on par with the other retailers, and since I'm a Prime member, the shipping was free. I could even go for a theme build in the end. So, now for the parts. The CPU in question is a Ryzen 5 2600. A legendary CPU. It was the first big hit for AMD and their cache-heavy 6-core CPUs back in the day when it launched in 2018. Now I got this for $27, 300 Swedish crowns without a cooler, but the guy was actually kind enough to send me some Carbonite from Thermal Grizzly, which, bear in mind, I didn't use because I actually didn't need it, but it was nice of him. Now for the GPU. I found it to be very hard to find something performance-wise that I was content with. I checked every second-hand market I could here in Sweden. I also checked eBay, some Europe listings, and I landed on a Radeon RX 5700 non-XT 8GB version from Asus, reputable brand. That one cost me $127, 1,400 Swedish crowns with shipping. Now I may have taken a gamble with the power supply. I went with the Thermaltake TR2 Plus White rated, and it's only 500 watts. I read some stuff about it, saw some reviews, saw some Reddit posts that you shouldn't skimp out and you should just use platinum on everything. I didn't really do that. I looked at Oz Talks Hardware YouTube channel, and he used it quite a lot, and I was like, okay, for 6 months maybe it's fine, and then I can upgrade. Now for the motherboard, I won the Gigabyte B550M ultra durable, 4 M slots, so I can upgrade in the future. Right now I have 2. PCIe Gen 4 capable for the future upgrades, and it also has 2 M.2 slots for more expansion. It also is M.ATX. So if I want to downsize this in the future, I can do that. I picked up a Corsair Vengeance LPX 60 gig 3200 megahertz kit, and actually a white kit that cost me $42, which is pretty good. So now you might see where this build is going. For the case, I went with the Knox Extreme Hummer Vision. This is an Amazon case that I found only there. Nowhere else in Sweden was I able to find this actual case. It came with no fans, so I had to add in some Thermaltake fans. Small correction. These are Thermalright fans and not Thermaltake fans. I got the names mixed up in my head. So for the 3-pack of fans in the case and also the tower cooler are Thermalright fans, not Thermaltake. Now for the last part, which is the SSD, I got myself an Intenso 500 gig M.2 SSD for $32 or 350 Swedish crowns. Nothing special here. Just something that I can put Windows on and possibly dual boot with some Linux distro. For benchmarks, I'm not a benchmarking guy, so I'm just doing the best I can. Bear in mind, I also record on my PC. I hope it's not as big of a deal for the FPS and the benchmarks. But I'm going to be testing Cyberpunk, Fortnite, and Marvel Rivals, which is the game I play the most. If you have any other game that you want me to test out on this configuration, just link it down below, and I'll see if I can get to testing it and maybe reply to you in a future comment. But yeah, these are the benchmarks, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next.